In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the 5-number summary, the average, the interquartile range, the variance and standard deviation, and do a frequency table and a bar graph and a pie chart using Excel. So I actually used a subset of the Excel number 1 data set. I chose 10 of them, and to do the average, as we did in the video before, you type equals average, open parentheses, and then highlight the set of scores and type enter. So there's my average. Median has 2 different built-in functions. For the first one, we're going to use the median function, and you just highlight the data set again and type enter. Now the interquartile range we can't do until we get Q1 and Q3, so I'm going to skip up here and we're going to do the minimum. All 5 of these are going to use a quartile function. So we type equal quartile, open parentheses. Now notice it says array and then quart. The array is the set of data you're going to use to find your quartile. The quartile for minimum is 0. So that gives you 55. The minimum value in this data set is 55. Now for the rest of these, I'm just going to copy and paste this and change which quartile it is. So I'm going to paste here, but what I need to do is change this to quartile 1. And then for here, it's going to be quartile 2, because quartile 2 and the median are the same. For Q3, we paste that and we change the 0 to a 3, which gives us quartile 3. And then quartile 4 is your maximum. So with one single function, the quartile function, we're able to find our entire 5-number summary. Now for our IQR, remember it's Q3 minus Q1, so we type equals, click on Q3 minus Q1, hit enter, and there's our IQR. So that was easy. Now for variance and standard deviation, both of those have built-in functions, so we type equals var. The history scores we're using are population, so we're going to use population variance, and then you highlight the population, hit enter. There's your variance. Standard deviation, we do the same thing. It's stand dev, and since we're assuming this is a population, it's the one with the P. And we highlight our data and we type enter. Now, if you think about this, 12 squared is 144, so those two do look related in that the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Okay, that was the easy part. It's a little bit harder to find frequencies because we're needing to classify this data. So we use a function called COUNTIF. Now the COUNTIF function counts all the things that have a certain value within a certain range. The range is the set of data that you're looking at, so that would be this one. For this particular situation, for the 90 to 100, we need numbers that are greater than 89. Now the reason we go for greater than 89 is because 90 is the next number up, so that actually starts with 90. And then we press enter. And this one doesn't like my function, or this. Okay. Oh, we need to put the criteria in quotes. That's why. Okay. So the criteria have to be in quotes. Now, for the 80 to 89 range, we have to do 2 things. We have to do the COUNTIF for this set of data, and my criteria in this case is greater than 79. But we can't include the values that are greater than 89. So we have to subtract COUNTIF, same range, comma, greater than 89. So what that does is it takes and counts all the ones bigger than 79, and then it subtracts off the ones that are bigger than 89. And is there only one 80? Yep, that one right there. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for all of these. So instead of retyping all the COUNTIFs, I'm going to copy this. And when you go up and copy it, you have to hit enter to get out of it. And then I'm going to paste it. For the 70 to 79 range, we need to be greater than 69 and greater than 79 for our cutout. For this piece, we need to be greater than 59 and take away the ones that are greater than 69. And then the last one's not as difficult. It is just less than 60. So we're going to do that range, comma, less than 60. That should say 60, not... Yes. I'm not done yet. Less than 60. And I can't forget my other set of quotes. Now, to make sure that our COUNTIF function worked right, we're going to count and make sure. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 less than 60 grades. I have no grades between 60 and 69 in this set. I have 4 grades between 70 and 79. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I have 1 grade that's between 80 and 89, and 1 grade that's above 90. And together, those add up to 10, and since I have 10 data values, that works. Okay, so we want a frequency table, and we want a bar chart and a pie graph that use the ABCDF with the frequencies. And we don't really want to include this data in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and move it for a second, and we're going to switch the spots. So I'm going to put the letters there and the numerical values that I typed in here. This way, when I go to make my bar graph, I can highlight those 2 columns together, and I go up to Insert, Bar. Actually, I want a column, not a bar. And we click on that. Now, each one of these, we have A, B, C, D, and F. Of course, obviously, we don't really need the legend. But what we need to do is go to Chart Layout. We want a title and I don't like those. We want title and labels on both axes. So there we go. Since we want title and labels on both axes, we really don't need the legend, so we're going to delete that. But the chart title would be grade distribution. This title here would be letter grade. And this title here is our frequency. So that gives us a pretty bar graph. Now I'm going to take my pretty bar graph and I'm going to move it out of the picture. And if you'd like to, you can either leave it on this, or we can cut it, not copy it, cut it, and paste it into sheet 2. And we'll do the same thing with our pie chart, that way they're out of the way. So now we're going to do the same thing we just did for ABCDF, except we're going to insert a pie graph. And we're going to do just the 2D pie graph, the regular plain one. But we want a title with our legend. And I actually like the % one too. So we're going to use this one that has the percents on the chart and the title. And this title will be grade distribution. Again. And we have our legend. And then I'm going to move this into sheet 2 because, well, there's not enough room for it in sheet 1. So our two bar graphs are in sheet 2, or our two graphs, our bar graph and our pie chart. Your pie chart and bar graph will not have an empty range, so you won't have any blank spaces. So hopefully this will help you with your project.